Okay, so after the short intro, Ellen, feel free to start. Okay, you can start.
Hi, good evening, and welcome to the Vibes and Ventz program. You can also join us wherever you are via WhatsApp. You can join us on Facebook. You can join us on Twitter, Instagram, and also on YouTube. And we are proudly sponsored by the Future Foundation, always faithful. So today's we're going to go, since Ghana is deciding tomorrow, we're going to go straight into politics. Today's conversation is going to be an interesting one. So I'm going to give you a bit introduction of my panelists. I have Benis Boachi Adam. I have Ebenezer Nyapum, Divine Sebuko, Ebenezer Kote, Fatima Hussein, Mumuni Mushin. So I have got 5 people who are going to join me to delve into today's topic, which is youth in politics, making informed choices for Ghana's future. So I'm going to give you a brief background on the number of youth and also what the youth entails. So Ghana has a youthful population with its young people aged 18 to 35. That's 58% and over 62% of the voting population in the 2012 and 2016 general elections. Available stats show that an overwhelming 73.7% of the population fall below the age 35. I'm fair to say the Gen Z population. Research by Youth Bridge Foundation shows the youth participation only 13. So in Parliament, in Ghana's Parliament, we have only 13 youth aged 21 to 35 who are in Parliament. So when you go to Ghana's Parliament today, you're going to find just 13 youth aged between 21 and 35, which is making up of 5 female and 8. So we have only 13 youth in Ghana's Parliament. That is not, that's 4.7%. We have 275 seats in Ghana's 7th Parliament of the 4th Republic. So if we are having about 4.7%, that's not encouraging. So we're going to go straight into today's topic. Here with me, my panelists, Benis, Boachi, Benis, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Unfortunately, I have power outage, so my video can't be on this evening.
All right, that's fair. And also we have Ebenezer Nyapum. Ebenezer Nyapum. Okay, Divine Sebto. Divine.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me.
Yes. Ebenezer Korte.
Hello.
Okay, hi, Ebenezer. And also we have Mumuni Mushin. So those are my 5 panelists that are going to be with me. And I'm your host, Ellen. So we're going to have to go straight into our topic for today. That's youth in politics and making informed decisions. Tomorrow is going to be the 7th of December, and Ghana is going to decide. Elections will start tomorrow at 7 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. tomorrow at all polling stations across the country. Okay, so quickly, I will start with Benis. Benis, if you can hear me. I want to, Benis?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, sure. Now, tomorrow is going to be Ghana's big decision day. It's going to be Ghana's deciding day. As youth or as a youth, okay, We have two major political parties, that's the National Democratic Congress, and also we have the New Patriotic Party. These are the two major political parties that are going to be facing each other. We have a vice president that is on the ticket of the NPP, and also we have a former president that is also on the ticket of the NDC, who are going to face tomorrow. And Ghanaians, both the young, the old, of voting age, who have been registered, will be part of deciding who becomes Ghana's next president. So I want to ask, what's your message to undecided voters?
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here again. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay, all right. So, the issue of people or voters being undecisive, well, I've been there, and I'll say this election is going to be my second, actually. My first, I didn't get a lot of information and education, but I think this time round, I have sat down, I have made my research, looking at the promises from, like you said, we have two major political parties. That's the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress, right? So I am actually going in for one of these two, definitely. But then I'm letting their promises inform me what I think it's going to do for not just me, but for other youth as well. So I think for people who have not decided yet, the main thing is to look out for the promises. Let me not just say promises, but the projects and visions of the various parties. Let that lead them to make an informed decision, because you wouldn't want to do something that you regret later, and that would, I mean, bring a whole lot of consequences on the youth. As like you said, or rightly said, Ghana has a youthful population, so it's very crucial that the youth has something. They have projects and programs that will help them to grow in the future, or help them to also help the country. So yes, that's what I think I can say for all undecisive voters out there.
All right, thank you very much, Bernice. So your message is that your first voting, you didn't get enough information.
That's
so
right.
you didn't make the right decision for them.
Yes.
But you're telling them that this time around you're convinced.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've sat down to go through the project, the programs from each party, and I know what is going to help me, not just me, other youth. So yes, I think that's what I'm going for.
Okay. So one particular party has appealed to you and your conscience that I'm the
That's
right.
right.
All
That's
right, sure.
right.
Thank you very much, Bernice. So, if Ebenezer Nyakuni, your question is, what would you tell someone who believes all the parties are the same, so they win votes? There are people who say, as for me, I'm not voting because all the parties are the same. I saw a video trending where the woman was telling some a particular party that was campaigning that I'm not going to vote. All of you are the same. What will you tell someone like that? Someone who believes all the parties are the same.
Okay, good evening once again. Thank you very much for this question. But what I will say to people who are not going to take part in this election is that, when you don't take part in the election and then things go wrong, you shouldn't blame any government, right? You should rather blame yourself because you didn't take part in the decision making, right? So I would tell them to rechange their mind and then take part in the election. It's not too late. Yeah, they still have time to decide and then probably choose one of the two parties and then vote for. They need to think about their future and then that of their children and decide. Yeah.
All right.
That
Thank
is
you
what
very
I can say.
much. If Divine can hear me, Divine, what strategy do you think to choose? Do you think that a candidate to vote for, a strategy to choose a candidate? What strategy? The best strategy to choose a candidate to vote for. What is the best?
Okay. Thank you
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. For the strategy, it's kind of
Ebenezer,
depend on.
you're audible. If you could come on video, thank you.
Can you hear me? Is my voice clear enough?
Pardon? I didn't get
Can
that.
you hear me? Is my voice audible enough?
Yes, your voice is audible, but your face, if you can turn on your video.
Okay.
Thank you very
Hope it's
much.
on now. Okay.
Yes.
So with the strategy, it's kind of depend on who you actually want. It's kind of depend on you yourself. With the strategy, it depends on the work you do, what you do, and which political party you think has the mandate to be able to provide you all you need to be able to live the life you want to live. So with the strategy, there is no kind of predefined strategy, but it kind of depends on what you want and which political party you think is able to provide what you want. So there is no predefined strategy there. If you look at the various political parties, we have almost 13 parties going into this election. We'd have to look carefully at each of the political parties, the manifestos they provided, and which of them you think sit well with you. So you would have to choose between them based on what you do and the political party you trust to be able to help you achieve what you want. So
That's the
it's
best.
kind of counterintuitive, but you would have to decide on it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Divine. Thank you for that. I'll go quickly to Ebenezer. Ebenezer. I can see that Fatima has joined us. Thank you very much. Welcome, Fatima, for joining us. Ebenezer Korte, if you can hear me, your question is okay. The Electoral Commission's credibility is kind of on a low, considering its historic. Since I started voting, or let me say from Afarijan to Mrs. Charlotte Osei, now to Jemensa, there are a lot of controversies surrounding the Electoral Commission, and also some parties that are saying they are not being fair, they are not being free, they are putting up a lot of things. How do you feel? How do you feel about their credibility being on the low, considering Ghana's electoral process over the years? Ebenezer, if you can hear me.
Okay, I would say to ensure that this election is free and fair, they had to put measures in place to ensure that no one is found at fault, because
how do you feel about the Electoral Commission, their credibility being at a historic low, with concerns over its ability to conduct free and fair elections, especially amidst allegations of voter roll tampering and past controversies? What do you feel? How do you feel about the Electoral Commission?
Okay, I feel if the Electoral Commission's credibility is low, it could potentially impact the public's trust in the election process and the results. And a low level of credibility in the Electoral Commission could lead to concerns about the fairness and transparency of the election process, which could lead to lack of confidence in the results, regardless of who wins, and might cause commotions here and there in the country.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Fatima, I think Fatima is live with us now.
Yes, I am. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Fatima, and thank you for joining us. I think I'll ask you the same question that I asked Ebenezer about how the Electoral Commission have a low credibility, and also considering a lot of things that are going on now, the special voting that was supposed to be conducted on Monday, a lot of the security services and those special voters didn't participate in the Eastern and Western region. So how do you feel about the Electoral Commission's credibility?
So for recently, I think they have been doing a very good job when it comes to organizing elections. And I think on the part of these workers who are not able to participate in the elections is because like they are not given free time to actually go and vote. When you take nurses as an example, they don't have holidays, and they should have been also given the opportunity to also take part in this special voting, but they can't leave patients, and they are not given time to go and take part in this special voting as well. But I think the Electoral Commission is actually doing a great job when it comes to organizing these elections and stuff.
Okay, thank you very much. So I will still let you answer a particular question. What specific step can communities take to promote peace during this election period? What do you think our communities or opinion leaders can take during this period? What can they do during this election period? Since we are going to the polls tomorrow, do you think the steps that they can take or steps that should be used to guide them?
Yes, I think first of all, the youth or community should be educated on the need for peace, for the need for peace during these elections, and also like mentorship programs should also be um conducted for the youth to educate them more on this on the need for peaceful election and unity during elections.
So those are some of the steps that you think the communities should take to promote peace during this election?
Yes, I think education is one, creating awareness also for the need for peace, and also these mentorship programs for the youth in the communities is also another way.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Fatima. I'll go to Mumuni Mushin. If you can hear me, how can social media campaigns be used effectively to spread messages of peace and unity? Now, in today's world, we all know that social media has come to stay. There are a lot of products and services that are on social media. So how do you think we can use social media to, campaign for peace during this election?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I think it's an honor getting to join you guys this evening. As
Right,
you
thank you.
earlier said, social media is now one of the tools that are used to disseminate information in this modern world. So now to campaign for peaceful election before, during, and after the election, I think the various social medias that handles the various social platforms for these parties should be the stakeholders for educating the people about peaceful election. Because know what people nowadays wants to see, or the place they see most information is those that are campaigning for the power, for campaigning to come in power. So I think if information about peaceful election is spread there, then most of the people adhere to that, rather than other using other platforms to do that. And also most of the national TV stations too can also play a major role in disseminating information concerning peaceful election in Ghana.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Okay, so thank you very much, Mumuni, for that insightful, peace message that you gave us. I'll go back to Benjamin. Benjamin, if you can hear me, sorry, I'll go back to, sorry, Benis. Benny's, if you can hear me, I will follow up with what strategies can be employed to counter misinformation content online. There are a lot of misinformation when it comes to social media. People have been scammed with their when it comes to social media. So what do you think? What strategy can we employ to counter misinformation on social media?
Okay, thank you very much. Think the issue
Dennis, I'm
of
sorry, but
misinformation
Dennis, if you can hear me,
very
Dennis.
important,
Hello, Dennis.
especially in elections, because
Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Dennis. Okay, I think Ben is off. So quickly, let's go to Ebenezer. Ebenezer, what strategies can we employ to counter misinformation on social media, or to counter content online in regarding? Hello,
I can hear you. So
hello.
yeah, I can hear you. So
Okay, I think Ben is back. Dennis, can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes, I can.
Okay, all right. So your voice was not enough. So
Okay, all right. Sorry
okay,
about that. So I was saying that the issue of misinformation is very, very important, especially in elections, because for me, I always advise that people look out or find out, get information from the right sources. Okay, so credible sources, I mean. You don't just see something online and jump to it or start acting with it. So in Ghana, there are lots of credible FM stations, TV stations that you can actually rely on their information because they've got personnels on the field monitoring and following up on everything, right? So,
yeah.
and I know definitely others are going to put up blogs and other websites to create fear, to bring about false informations that is going to cause panic and all. But I think the most important thing is to always go in for credible, like just follow credible sources. Try to verify from 2, 3, or 4 sources if your information or the information you are getting is the same before you jump to it. And also, I think when you vote, it's always good. That's why we encourage people to vote. When you are there, you also see what's going on. Right after voting, you just go home. When it's time to count, you can always come back. Just be there. You're seeing what's going on, just so you don't listen to false information. Oh, this constituency had maybe 2,000, and probably when the counting was done, it was actually 5,000. Right. So I think all these things matter. So these are some strategies I think we can use.
All right. Yes, Benny. Thank you. But we were in this country when credible media houses were, I'm sorry, but they were gullible enough to be misled about Guinness Book Record, and they were on
Yes,
the
that's right. So yeah, so
Yes.
if you can't always follow these media houses, I mean, just be there in person if you can. We all want peace. We encourage people to stay home and listen. But if you think you can be on the field and also just participate, just witness what is going on without causing trouble or getting yourself into trouble, I think that should also be fair.
Okay. All right. There are some TV and radio. There are a lot of I think the licensing of these TV and radio stations needs to be halted because there are a lot of this TV and radio that are out there giving false
Oh,
information.
yes, yes, and lots of them. Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Sure. Thank you very much, Benny. So, Ebenezer Nyakun, what role can influencers, musicians, and public figures play in advocating for peaceful election?
Oh, okay,
Ebenezer,
so can you please repeat the question again?
I said, what role can influencers, musicians, and other public figures, what role, okay, can they play in advocating for peace during these elections?
Okay, so in the period of election, I think, and then I also suggest these influencers and then the musicians can preach about peace during this election. They should use their platform to talk about a peaceful election. They should educate the youth and the people about how to observe the protocols being they should be able to observe the protocols being given by the EC and then the security personnel. Okay, they shouldn't cause any chaos atmosphere during the election, and then they should also not they should not also not I mean, how do I put it? They should always give out, I mean, for true information, that is relevant information concerning the election. They shouldn't over criticize other political parties, right? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ebenezer.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Yeah. Okay. So, if Divine is available, how can civic education programs in schools and communities emphasize the importance of non-violence during elections? I don't know if this year the civic society or civic education they are always on radio trying to talk to people to how to vote, what to avoid, what to say, what not to say. I think we have a Media Foundation for West Africa. It's also another form of advocacy group for especially journalists, and also they also try to listen to radio stations and also to these presenters and also award them and rate them on the kind of things that they say and do on radio, especially the presenters and hosts. So how can civic education programs in schools and communities emphasize the importance of non-violence during elections? Divine.
Yeah, I think it's very important that the NCC, the National Commission for Civic Education, play a very important role in this coming election. Because information is one important thing that we need to disseminate to the people. How violence can destroy the whole peace we have enjoyed for this fourth republic. Trying to let them know of the history we are coming from and then the peace we are enjoying now. And then within the whole sub-region, how Ghana is being tagged as one of the most peaceful countries within the sub-Sahara sub-region of Africa. So it is very important that the various schools and then the various institutions are able to disseminate no violence during this election and after the election. You go to the polls and then vote peacefully. Either you wait behind or go sit behind your television or radio to be able to pay attention to whatever goes in, and then how we should comport ourselves. So it's very important that the civic rights of the institutions are at play during this election and after the election to disseminate no violence during, and then let us enjoy the peace we have been enjoying for quite some while now. Let our peace continue. As we've seen in other countries like Botswana, where after the election we've seen the kind of disturbances that have gone in place, and letting them know that violence will lead to loss of lives, violence will lead to destruction of properties. So looking at how tense the country is, we ask that these civic institutions play their part in disseminating the right information, such that we enjoy the peace we have been enjoying within the fourth republic.
All right. Thank you very much.
That is what we have to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Divine, for that wonderful submission. Ebenezer, Ebenezer, our traditional leaders, or let me say leaders in general, have certain effects on the people they lead. So traditional rulers like our chiefs and kings and also our religious leaders like our pastors, our reverend ministers, etc. Okay, they have significant roles they play in society. How do you think they control? They can contribute to maintaining peace during this election that we're going to hold tomorrow.
Okay, let's take the Asante Hene, for instance. People would say he play a crucial role, like in terms of leading his people. So whatever the Asante Hene says is what the people does. So to play a crucial role in this election, I think he has a part to play. That's promoting peace and then ensuring that election in this country is being implemented like with transparency and then free and fairly to promote the peace we have in the country. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, so how about our religious leaders? Also, what do you think? Still on Ebenezer, what do you
Okay.
think what's their role?
Okay, I think religious leaders you should use quotations from the Bible to promote peace in the society. As if peace reigns in the community, they are able to go about their business, and people will have their free will to worship, to do or worship their deity. So in as much as everyone is involved, so everyone has a part to play. So if this is done and then done well, if this election is done and done well, we'll all benefit the peace it comes with.
Okay, so Ebenezer is telling us that the pastors and chiefs play a vital role in promoting peace during elections. So the pastors can also use their pulpits to preach the good news, and also the malams to also preach during their services to promote peace. And also you gave an example of that, Santihini, as well. So thank you very much, Ebenezer, for that insightful example. All right, so I will go to Fatima. Media outlets. What role do media outlets in ensuring unbiased reportage? And the media, like you and I, okay. So for example, election 2012, I covered election in 2012, and it was such a crucial time. Whatever that is said on radio, everybody seems to follow it. So, what do you think the media outlets, especially the radio, it can be online radio, traditional media, televisions, what is the role of the media outlets in ensuring unbiased reportage and also avoiding sensationalism that could incite violence? There are some people that incite. We all know about what happened, the Houthis and the Houthis of, is it Rwanda? We know what happened, how powerful radio is. And that country, Rwanda went to war, Liberia went to war for over 20 years. Those countries have suffered enough. It's just the media that caused all that. So what role does the media play in ensuring peaceful elections during this time?
So thank you very much for the question. Like you rightly said, the media has a great influence on the people because everyone relies on the media for certain informations and stuff. And so I think that the media or these social media platforms should be encouraged to disseminate right information to the general public concerning the elections and whatever goes on in the country. And also, this is also a way we can also promote and peace during the elections, educating people on free and fair elections and also the protocols during the elections. and a whole lot.
Okay, okay. So Fatima, you're telling us that the media have a vital role to
Yes,
play.
has a great influence on the people. Everyone relies on the media for information, and I think it is very important for the media to disseminate right and correct information to people.
So if it is, there's a media, when you mentioned that, okay, this constituency A in this district had 2,000, and another person reports that is 5,000. That is also misinformation that sometimes.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much, Fatima. Fatima is telling us that we need to make sure that we give the right information. As we also sit here, we also have a role to play. You don't give half-baked information out there because it can go a long way to affect others. So they should stop the bribery and corruption. They shouldn't act as politicians. They should act as journalists and media personnel, right, Fatima? What advice can you give them, if I may ask? Fatima. Okay, I think Fatima has his power. Let's say that. Okay, so I'll go to Mumini quickly. Then we run up and then we go to some trending topics on the special voting controversies. We go to security measures and peace initiatives and other topics. So whatever happened and some other trending topics. Fatima, are you back? Okay, all right. Okay, so Mumuni, how can young voters?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted you to give advice to these reporters. What advice do you have for them? Maybe two advice, solid one, to especially these are journalists, both on the field and then those reporting in the newsroom at the various
Okay. So first of all, I think these journalists or these media reporters should be neutral when it comes to giving information out. Some of them make it so obvious that like I belong to this political party or I belong to this political, and so when they are speaking or they are giving out informations, they give out info in favor of their political party. And so they don't give out the right information. And so I encourage them to be neutral when it comes to giving out informations about this, about the elections and what have you. And also I also encourage them to also give out the right information to people.
Take a stand against violence and encourage others to do the same. Mooney, if you can hear me, how can young voters take a stand against violence and encourage others to also do the same?
Please, thank you very much. If I heard you right, you asked how can young voters take a stand to discourage violence and
especially first-time voters.
First-time voters. I'm sure by now the Electoral Commission has released a protocol for voting. So as first-time voters, everyone would like to have experience about how voting goes. And mostly what usually causes the violence is such that if you go to vote, then you stand there. By all means, some issues will pop up, then definitely violence will occur there. So what advice I have for young voters is that they should try and follow the protocols that are released by the EC. So to ensure safe election at the polling station, I think the most and the best thing to do is that if you go to vote, you leave the polling station, because that's where mostly violence sparks. And they should also try to be an ambassador for peace, because as it is now, I think those people are part of the youth, and mostly taken at this current state of the country, almost all the youth in one way or the other are educated. And to be a literate too is not something that is easy to attain. Let me put it in that way. So if it happens that you are illiterate, you should be an ambassador for peace. There should be difference between you and the ordinary Ghanaian that is not able to attain education. I think those are the two advice I have for new voters, especially young ones. Thank you very
Okay, thank you very much, Mumuni, for that insightful, and then also your encouragement and also advice to for young voters. Okay, so we're almost through, and then we are proudly sponsored by the Cluche Foundation. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, now X, also on Instagram. You can also join the conversation on WhatsApp, and also join us on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, the Cluche Foundation YouTube. So go now to tell a friend to tell another friend. Also invite your friends to also listen. Youth in politics, making informed choices for Ghana's future. Today, my panelists are Benis Wachi Yadom, Ebenezer Nyakun, Divine Sebuko, Ebenezer Korte, Fatima Hussein, and Mumuni Mushin. I'm your host, Ellen. Okay, so final question, and I'll ask Benis for that. Final question, Benis. Do young voters feel their concerns are being listened to by political leaders? Do you think the young ones feel that they are being heard?
Okay, thank you, Ellen. Personally, I don't think so. Because I work with young people. I'm young and I've had opportunities to work with young people on different projects. And I mean, from conversations and discussions, you definitely know that, especially when it comes to politics, some people are going to vote for the first time. It's their first time going to vote, and they keep asking, well, who am I even voting for? All these people, they are not even doing anything for me, and blah, 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 blah. So, as young as they are, it's being their first time, they already have this mentality that any government that comes doesn't do anything for them, and they
Same
feel
thing.
that even though projects are going on, they are not projects that align with their needs, right? So I think they actually feel that their concerns are not heard, and I'm really praying for the time that we'll get a leader who is going to channel a lot of programs and projects to the needs of young people. That's something I'm really hoping for, because we are not being heard at all. We are not.
Okay, so Benis, I'm giving you the opportunity. Let's say you're talking to the two presidential aspirants, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia of the National Patriotic Party, and also John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress. They are right here and they are listening to you. What do you think you can tell them for them to listen and be inclusive in government?
Okay, so the main thing that I'm going to voice out to these leading uh, flag bearers of various of respective political parties is that, irrespective of how much they want the country to move forward, to bring about new features, to introduce new things, I think the very crucial thing they should keep in mind is the youth. Okay, programs that are going to elevate, empower, and build the youth for tomorrow, because the youth is going to take over from this current generation. And if you're not grooming them, if you're not empowering them, who do you want? How are they going to take over, right? And you wouldn't want a country whereby old people are going to remain in offices doing what? Eventually their strength is going to fail them. So you need to empower the youth. They should bring out policies to help the youth. That's something that I really want them to hear. They can bring all other projects and programs, policies, but they should try as much as possible to have the youth in mind, just like they have persons with disabilities, women, children in mind. The youth also needs them. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Bernice, and thank you all panelists for that wonderful, presentation and also submission. You've really done well, and then you have also encouraged. We are live on YouTube, and we have some very interesting topics. We will go straight to Ayawaso West World, where my favorite. He used to be my crush though, but John Dumelo and then Lydia. Okay, there was some controversies. Lydia was sharing rice, and John Dumelo was emotional when she was sharing rice, and then he said he can also do it. So let's all play the same. So people were saying that George Melo is being emotional. He should act like a politician. Okay. So the special voting controversies. How effective do you think the special voting arrangement are ensuring fair participation? Because according to the NDC's John Dumelo, he thinks that giving food to voters in line, like they were going to vote, you are giving them food, it will change their mind that they should vote for you. So John Dumelo was not happy at all. So, okay, so these are some of the trendy topics that we have over the week. This week, getting to the 7th of December, which is tomorrow, that Ghana is going to decide who will be our next president for the 8th Parliament of the Fourth Republic. So I will engage my panelists this time around. I'll start with Mumuni. Mumuni, do you think when Lydia was asked, Lydia said that she's just coming, she doesn't know anything about that. Ghanaians too are saying that John Dumelo is too emotional. What do you think about this whole thing, this whole drama that was that happened at the Ayawasi West Wogan during the special vote?
Yes, please, I can hear you. Yeah, thank you very much. I think what happened over there, that's what has been happening over the past years. Ghanaians, they always say Ghanaians are hungry in that way. So if you give them something,
But do you think you're hungry?
oh, no, I don't think we are hungry. I don't think we are hungry because what I think is that sometimes most of us don't know the basis of what they are doing. And looking at the current state of the economy, I will not be there, then you will come to give me food, and I will say I will not take. And knowing very well that you are not there with me when I'm coming to food. So definitely with what he said, in one way or the other, it may sound right, okay, but I don't think that is the case. What if I take because we do secret balloting here. I'm alone with my paper there. What I decide, that one you will not see. Unless me, I come to tell you that I voted for this, then how sure are you that I'm saying the truth?
Okay. All right. Fatima. Security measures and peace initiatives, are they doing enough? They said there were about some 88 people who were stopped in a bus, and the NDC supporter already sentenced to 10 years in prison. I think that's extreme. Oh, I apologize, Fatima. Let Fatima line dropped. So I think Ebenezer should look at that for us. Do you think the security measures and peace initiatives are doing enough? Ebenezer.
Okay, well, I will say in some polling stations or constituencies, they are doing their best. But they need to increase their population. Anything can happen. Yeah, anything can happen. So they need to do extra mile. Yeah, so that there will be free and fair election at the end. Yeah.
Okay. And also, this question goes quickly to you. You see, some people took pictures of their balloting, right? When they went, they voted, they took a picture of it. Because I remember when I was covering election in 2012, I was about to vote, and I asked someone to take a picture of me voting, and the security personnel, or let me say the returning officers and then the electoral commission there stopped that. Oh, it is not allowed, because I asked permission that if I could take a picture of me voting. Like, I'm not taking picture of my ballot paper, but just a picture of me voting. But they said no. But what do you think about people? I voted for maybe if I don't call, I've taken a picture, I'll show to everybody. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a bad practice. It is not a good idea at all. If you do that, it will create, a big chaos. You shouldn't do that. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. But
I think
if you are, if you're about to vote, you can tell a friend from afar to take a picture of you, in the ballot box. That one is outside, right? Yeah, it's afar. So that one is more appropriate. By you disclosing the person you voted for, it is not a good idea at all. It's not a good idea. Yeah.
okay. So quickly, let's go to I'll go to Venice. Venice, what are we go to some of the trending topics, like we listen, we don't judge. Ghana is an interesting country. There are some people who were offering, who were luring people with jobs, and also taking advantages of ladies. That there was a trend like that on, I think, Facebook, where a guy was taking advantage of ladies who were seeking jobs. And we'll go to the we listen, we don't judge trend. I think you all will tell me some of your, so that we won't judge you. What are your thoughts on Ghana Supreme Court restoring the ruling party's parliamentary majority ahead of the 7th December? You know that our Speaker of Parliament declared, I think, 4 how do you call it? The 4 seats vacant. So making the minority now the majority in Parliament, so that they could do a few things. But quickly, one of the majority leaders went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that out. What do you think? What are your thoughts on Ghana's Supreme Court, on that ruling in particular? Venice is not available, so I think the question should go to...
Hello.
Okay, Venice.
I'm here. Could you please repeat the question?
I'm asking about, there was a controversy surrounding Bagman's rule that declared 4 seats vacant in Parliament, making the majority in Parliament, and making the majority minority in Parliament. Mm-hmm. So the majority, which is the ruling government, the New Patriotic Party, took the matter to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court restored the ruling. And what do you think? What are your thoughts on that ahead of the December 7 elections, which is tomorrow? Do you think it will have an effect on tomorrow's election?
Thank you very much. I think we Ghanaians have this mentality, or let me say, when it comes to politics, we have this mentality that the ruling party should always be the majority in Parliament. Can you hear me?
Yes, please. I can.
Yes. So I think we have this mentality, because I was having a discussion with some friends over the last weekend, and you could tell from this same conversation, we're discussing the ruling and all, and they were like, NPP is the ruling party, so obviously they should have majority. But I feel that there could be a time or there could be a point where even the party that is not ruling can also be majority, and I feel this is going to have an effect on the elections one way or the other tomorrow, because people have actually made decisions based on the ruling. People are going to decide based on the ruling, and we just wait to see the outcome. After, we just pray that it's going to be peaceful, but definitely this is going to affect tomorrow's elections.
Do you think we are going to have some surprises tomorrow?
Oh, sure. Yes, we are. We are
Some,
in for some surprises.
so some parliamentary seats are going to be lost. Some incumbents are going to be former parliamentary people. So the people that will not go to parliament. Tomorrow is going to be the last day for, because as for the
Obviously.
parliamentary elections, they will say that elections are won at the polling stations. So tomorrow is going to be an interesting one, and I can't wait. I wish I was still covering elections this year, and I would have seen the whole drama, and then a whole lot of things. How some people are going to cry. Okay, so the youth in politics. Do you think? Let me go to Divine. Do you think the representation in parliament, which is the 4.7%, that is about 13 youth in parliament, which is not encouraging, do you think we could do better? Divine.
Looking at the representation of the youth in parliament, yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So looking at the number of youth we have in parliament, it's kind of it does not really depend on them in as much as they have a part to play, but it depends on the delegates who are going to vote, because we would have to look at our constituencies and look at who we think will represent us better in parliament. So as much as they have a role to play, the youth are, we call it newbies. They are now coming. So we'll have to look at the caliber of the person, because they have not been in parliament. As such, they do not have, in terms of the finance and everything, to be able to start some projects in their constituency, to be able to motivate the delegates in their constituencies to vote for them. So in as much as it kind of depends on them, the majority part of the decision depends on we, the delegates, who would have to decide if we would still send the agent to represent us in parliament, or would have to change the name. But we have a country where we have some kind of affection that when you are old, you are intelligent, you can. So there is that kind of trajectory that I do not see much of the youth going in, because of what the delegate will have in mind. So it's kind of depend on we, the delegates. We would have to play a part if we want more youth to be able to represent us. Looking at the age cap also, it depends on the youth also, who would have to go for it before they can also vote for it. But looking at the various constituencies, the youth who are trying to stand against the aged are quite few. So the opportunities and the spaces would have to choose from are also few for us to choose. So I do not think it is going to increase in any time soon. It is still going to be this way for a while. Probably within the next decade, we would have some youth entering into the various constituencies and then making it to parliament.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Divine, for that. And also, this question is for everyone. So, what are your predictions? I'll start with Benny. What are your predictions for tomorrow? What are your predictions? Obi Besuan,
Well,
Obi Be-
oh,
What-
the crying
who
there
will
to be
win? Who
massive.
will win? Who is
Well,
winning tomorrow?
I can't say for sure, but definitely people are going to cry and others are going to jubilate.
But you have a favorite candidate.
Oh yes, I do. This time.
Yes. So who do you think, considering all the policies that have been, it is possible, 24-hour economy. So who do you think is going to win? Hello, Benis. Okay, I think Benis line dropped. So, Benis Anyaku, can you answer that for us? What are your predictions for tomorrow?
Well, I think it's very difficult on both sides of the parties, right? It's going to be difficult.
Do you think there will be a runoff?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so who will win? I'm putting you on the spot. Who is winning?
Well, I can't tell you for now, but there's going to be one party that will win.
Pardon?
There's going to be one party that will win. All right.
Okay. So you're not going to tell me who will win, fair enough. Divine. Divine, please. What are your predictions for tomorrow? Is there going to be a runoff or who is winning tomorrow?
I do not see a runoff.
Is it the
I see
umbrella
one
or
clear winning.
the elephant?
Would have to be guided on our decisions, but I do not see a runoff.
You don't see a runoff.
I see one party. Yeah, I see one party winning. I see one party winning. Looking at the hotspots, I see one party winning.
Okay.
I see one party winning.
Everybody is winning.
One party's message sits well with the people.
Don't worry, next week on the 13th of December, you all will come and tell me.
Sure, exactly.
Hey.
For sure.
What happened? Who cried and who is laughing? We will meet on the 13th of December, and next week, that is, we are going to meet on live again on our YouTube channel. That is also the Cluche Foundation. So we are proudly sponsored by the Cluche Foundation. And okay, Ebenezer Kote, if you can hear me, what's our prediction for tomorrow?
Oh, okay. So I think there will be a runoff because I think the person, one party will win with a slight number or something. That's what I'm saying.
So nobody's going to get the 50+1.
Looking at things, everybody is pulling the crowd.
Fear delegates.
Their minds are unstable.
Fear delegates. Okay. So Fatima, I think Fatima is out. Fatima, if you come.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, Fatima, thank you for joining us again. Fatima, who is winning tomorrow? What are your predictions for tomorrow?
Okay, for tomorrow, we can't really tell, but for me, all I know is it's not possible. It's not going to be possible.
Hey, it is possible. It is possible.
It's not possible. It's not going to be possible tomorrow.
It is possible.
Fatima is saying her own.
It's not going to be possible. All I know is it's not going to be possible. It's now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fatima. You are the real deal. Give me five. Thank you. All of them were trying to hide it because they don't want to.
Yes, they are trying to hide me. I'll make it obvious. It's not possible.
So I know people who are truthful. Fatima is for the Zuzu people.
I will join NPP bus and go and vote for NDC tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Fatima is okay. Now, Mumuni, who is winning tomorrow? What are your predictions for tomorrow?
Definitely tomorrow it will be possible.
Hey, I love you guys. I love Fatima and I love Mumuni.
He's lying.
And then Fatima is also saying tomorrow.
I don't know. At this point in time, I have one comment to make. You see, Ghanaians at this point in time, I don't think they are voting based on policies. They are voting based on the current state of the economy.
Yes.
And comparing things to, I don't know. Okay, if these people are saying that the economy is too bad, things are getting worse. They presented to us, okay, both parties has presented their policies. So you as an ordinary citizen, taking a look at those policies, which policy do you think will better the economy in the next 2-3 years? So I don't know, like at this point in time, Ghanaians that they are stuck. So they have to make a thorough decision. They have to think, look at the policies, then also analyze things. Because I don't know whether they are dating based on analysis, they are voting based on analysis, they are or rather voting based on sentiments, emotions. And that's not how elections are supposed to be. That's
Okay.
the analysis I have for now.
Okay. Okay, so
But
Mumuni saying that. Okay, yeah, Fatima has something to say.
yes, I'm also saying that now we can see that Ghanaians are wising up. And aside the policies that we look at to vote, we also vote for a leader we can trust. That when you come to power, you will actually execute those policies you are talking about. So I think we should also consider this as well.
Thank you. Mumuni, do you have anything? Does anyone have anything to say? Counter
I
Fatima?
have something to say counter what Fatima said. I don't know. You know, okay, the government she's talking about, she also has to bear in mind that that government has been in power before.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
a lot of people
Hey, it's like someone is against me.
Exactly.
Don't
It's
worry,
like
they
two people
will
are
get better
against me now.
for
It's
you.
now.
Don't worry. Don't worry. No,
Nah,
you are the
it's two
strong
against
woman.
two.
Stand. Stand.
It's two
Stand.
against two.
I'm the referee, so don't worry. Don't worry.
Yo, Mate.
It's two against two.
Ebenezer is just laughing. Divine is quiet. You people, and then Venice is quiet. It is
It's
like
two
you
against
know, or you people belong to the boom and then Cheddar and Co.
Number one.
Hey.
definitely
It
is
is like
possible.
Even
all of
even
them
the
are
number one is suspicious. The number one itself is suspicious.
Number
Say it
one.
again, no.
It's suspicious, but I
Number one.
reserve my
Number one.
comment.
Number one.
The number one is not suspicious. It's just that
Please
nowadays,
speak out loud. Speak out, Benny. Women supporting women.
Hmm.
Me, I
Benny,
cannot support anybody.
Benny, no, I'm touching on what Benny said. You see, the
Okay.
number one is not suspicious. So it's just that within this period, a lot of propaganda have been made against the number one. Things that he has done it though, but taking an analysis is something that doesn't concern the state. It doesn't concern an ordinary citizen. But still, they will bring it on board.
So
So
I
let
do
me
not.
was
just
it
touch
true
on
that
one
the
Benny,
thing.
e-gate didn't open?
it
I
is
didn't hear you.
Was it true that the e-gate didn't open?
Oh, the e-gate opened. It did open.
So for that one there,
let's be true to ourselves. It didn't open.
It
it
didn't
didn't
open for
open
the
there.
person who in
Let's
It didn't
Oh,
open.
okay. Today I learned
And,
Ethiopia Airlines is working. Can't you see? I think this government has done quite well. Today Ethiopia
look,
Airlines is operational. Is it going?
yes.
I
Is it
don't
going
credit
to?
them because I don't credit this government that much. Looking at
Okay.
the expenditure, looking at the money they made, we expected much from them. You cannot take our debt, our national debt from 160 billion to 700 billion and then expect this kind of infrastructure.
Ebenezer
It is low. It is low.
Ebenezer Kote and then also Muni. Please, what Divine is saying, what do you have to say about it?
You
Well,
cannot take our debt
we are growing,
160
right?
to 700.
As population increases, demand also what increases. Okay, so all these things that the government is doing, they need resources to do that, right? And all the resources, we are seeing them physically, right? So don't say the government are overspending. They are not overspending. This free SHS, it wasn't easy for them, but they were able to implement it. And then at the end of the day, a lot of people, Ghanaians, have benefited a lot.
Okay,
My brother, a lot.
They
to not
implemented.
cut
Okay.
you, relax. To not cut you. There was one free SHS guy who said that the failing there is possible. I'm not trying to, but why did Baumia refuse the interview with the Bees? Why did your candidates? Now I can see that you have a candidate. Why did Alaji Mahmoud Baumia refused the interview with the BBC, but Mahama willingly did. Don't you think he has an advantage over?
Well, I think he he wants a debate with Mahama, right? But Mahama is not agreeing with the debate. So I think,
so that is why he also refused.
Yeah, that is why he also rejected it, right? He wants a debate with Mahama, right? Not with the BBC.
And the Kumasi airport going international, I think the Kumasi airport does not have an international standard to go international. Don't you think we are rushing all these things? And the commissioning of unfinished projects.
It's Ethiopian.
Yes, okay, Benis.
Okay,
that's one problem I have with governments. You see, they have policies, they have projects, but sometimes they should try to look out for the, say relevant ones. I mean, things that are going to benefit people directly. Because of this government, I cannot even go to my hometown. And if you ask me why, the road is so bad, it's 9 hours from Accra. I can't. I'm so scared. So imagine I'm not able to afford a flight ticket. It means that for so many years I'll be stuck in Accra, not able to see my family. These are petty things that if you say you're going to construct a road, how long will it take? But you have the funds for projects that are way, like it's way out of lead. I mean, they should try to focus more on projects that are going to benefit people directly, and then the others can come. We've not gotten to that point where we want to compete with China and those developed countries. We should take it step by step. That's my problem.
Thank you very much, Bernice. Yes, Ebenezer Korte.
Dennis, I would say every project is very important. Everything the government is doing is very important.
Exactly.
Taking into consideration the Ghana card, people have controversies and all that, but still, look at how far we've come. Right now, you can enter the airport and
hey.
No, in fact, right now we are taking a bold solution.
Yeah,
that is what we are taking.
But I think that we should take things step by step.
Okay,
step by step. As a country, we have priorities.
Okay, Fatima
as much as
okay,
I'm not against
we are not rushing. We are not rushing things. People start doing.
But you are commissioning, how do you call it? Unfinished projects.
Okay, during elections, I think.
Are you people leaving government because you people have you people have the vim that you're going to break the 8 and then the 8 broken. The 8 is now in your how do you call it? Your opponent's side. And
I do not see them breaking the 8.
Okay,
so now you are no longer talking about the 8 anymore.
Okay, so like with the project being commissioned here and there, I think during election people start questioning the party's projects and all that. So commissioning these projects will like lay more emphasis on how far the government have come with implementing their projects. So this gives more like.
But why do you always wait to start projects in election years? This question is for everybody.
Yeah, it's simple. They just want to leave your voters. You cannot go and be commissioning just 2.5 kilometer bridge and stuff. It's just to your voters. This is something we call the pre-election project commissioning.
Okay.
They just wait until it is left with 4 days to election, 5 days to election, and then they try to commence this project. We saw it under the previous government, and we've seen it under this also. And I don't think it really helps because most of the projects they were commissioning, we saw how they were unfinished. That is the truth. That is the bare truth. You cannot spend 8 years, you don't commission anything, then just 4 days to election. Just like they commissioned a bridge, they commissioned the interchange, the new interchange they commissioned. I think is the OBTD new interchange also.
Yeah.
It was not
Okay.
fully finished. They just went to commission it. Looking at the airport, they commissioned. It was not fully finished. They commissioned it. Looking at the hospitals and stuff, it's not fully commissioned. It's not fully completed. But they just go ahead to commission just to lure the people that, oh yes, we've done something. Even looking at the e-gate, because if it was fully commissioned, they wouldn't have had that kind of disappointment they had. And even looking
I'm
at the
sure.
money they
I'm
spend on
sure
it, you
one
cannot
good
spend
guy
two
was
hundred
there.
million dollars on
One
e-gate.
good guy was
I'm shocked.
there. One
I'm
good guy
shocked.
sabotage
I'm
it.
shocked. You cannot spend 200 million USD.
We listen, we don't judge. Okay, so
Yeah, because they
this
did not
is
even
the
make their. They did,
thank you very much. Thank you all so much for participating in today's show. We are very grateful for coming on live today on YouTube. You all should make it a point to also tell everyone to join the conversation on the 13th of December 2024 for us to also delve into another exciting topic on the 13th of December. So, okay, what's the worst and
Ellen,
best?
Ellen, I
Okay,
just
I
wanted
think my
to add
producer.
my own about the elections tomorrow.
Okay.
For me, I just think, is the best person who would cheat more, because most of these elections is who cheats best. That the person will win. So if it's a surprise to the other person, they're just surprised that they cheated, but the other person cheated well. So I will not be surprised whoever wins between the NDC and the NPP. I will not be surprised. I just wish the other parties that are coming up would have a little boost. If we see a little boost among the other little parties, maybe we can say Ghana is trying to move to some party, other parties, because the NPP and NDC is getting tiring. It is getting tiring. I wish people can just move to something else and see how best it would help the country. But we'll see who cheats the best. I just don't see any kind of honesty when it comes to Ghana selection. I'm telling you, the person who gets surprised is because we are marrying still. So that is that is what I see. So
Okay,
that's all
Gloria,
I have to
what's
add.
your prediction for tomorrow? Who is winning?
Oh, for the predictions tomorrow, I think the people who are in power have the upper hand to cheat well to win. That's I don't support NPP or NDC, but I think because they are in power, they have like the facility, everything available to them to cheat well to win. But we
NDC
just
was
hope,
in power in 2016 and they still lost the election.
yeah, because Nanado had another way to win well. That's what I see. Because he had that was his third time. He was not going to lose. Yes. So I just wish the let me see, the citizens the best. That's what I wish for them, and for safety and for peace. That's the main thing. But when it comes to these two political parties, I don't have any trust in any of them. So
Okay,
I
Gloria
leave it to you guys.
Gloria doesn't have any trust in our political system.
Oh no, not at all. So I leave the rest for you guys to
I
handle.
think
Thank you.
we are going to do better.
I hope
We are
so.
going to do better. We are going to do better. Since our credibility is at stake, we're going to do better. I think we are going to be running up today. We've passed our usual closing time. It's because of the elections. But next on our next episode, we are not going to take. We are going to stick to the 1 hour. So thank you all for joining. Okay, we listen, we don't judge. Who is going first? Ebenezer Nyako. We listen, we don't judge. The final words.
Well, my final word to everyone is that, we should be vigilant for tomorrow. Yeah, we should be very careful. When you vote, if you want to observe, you observe. You don't want to observe, you go to the house. When it is time for the counting, you come around and then you listen to the results. Then you travel back to your destination. Yeah. That is what I can say.
So who should we vote for tomorrow?
my final verse is
Oh, number one.
Divine.
It's up to the people, but looking at
Divine. Okay, Divine.
the number
Divine,
8, yeah, I think the
your
number 8,
final word.
yeah,
Your for
my
number.
final words are, I think the number 8 has it more. Looking at inflation at 23%, looking at the policy rate at over 23%, looking at the interest rates people have on taking their loans and stuff. It's up to them looking at exchange rate of over 16%. It's up to the people to make the right decision, either to make a change or to continue with the mess they are in. So it's up to the people, but I think I hope for a change. I hope for a change. Ghana deserves better. Ghana deserves better.
Ghana deserves better. Mumuni.
Final words is to all voters before you go to bed this evening. I will iterate that you go through the policies that have been presented by the various parties. Make sure that the party you are voting for, the policy will favor the country, because at this point in time, as to voting based on emotions or sentiments is not the way out. It's voting based on policies that will move the country forward. That's what we are hoping for. Whichever government that wins, fine. We hope that the government should perform its government duties so that in the next 2-3 years, we'll see Ghana as in part of the worst performing countries, part of the best performing countries in the world. And also, if you are going to vote, make sure that after voting, you leave the polling station. And my last suggestion also goes to the those that distribute information. But I'll be very happy if they are watching us live now. Because if you are disseminating information, make sure that you get the credible information. Disseminate the right information. Don't go about picking information that you are not sure of to give to the people. Yes. Thank you.
Be careful of the information you dish out there. Thank you very much. Ebenezer Forte.
Okay, so my last message would be that as we head towards the polls tomorrow, we should ensure that whatever we do should ensure peaceful, free and fair elections. And to those who lack motivation to vote, they should have it at the back of their minds that in order to change the government or in order to progress with the current government, they have to still cast their votes, and that's the only way to make their voices heard. So they should all vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ebenezer. Fatima. 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 Okay, Fatima is not responding, so let's go to Bernice. Bernice, if you can hear me.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
Bernice,
so my last words would be just an advice to all voters. We saw what happened with Lydia and John Dumelo, what transpired, the sharing of food. I just want to mention that according to the PNDC law, it's actually a crime to receive anything from a political party leader or to give out. So I just want to caution all of us that when you go, you know you're going to make a decision in as much as how no matter how hard the economy may be, maybe someone can try to lure you through money, food, just don't fall for it. Just go do your voting and go home in peace. Because I think there's going to be a lot of eyes, there's going to be strict supervision and monitoring on that particular aspect, just to see those who are going to receive any incentives to help them or to inform their decisions. So yes, just let's all be peaceful and vote right. Let's vote for change.
let's all be peaceful and vote right, and let's vote for peace. All right. Gloria, if you have any final words for us, you can share with us.
For me, I'm still here. It's just for everybody here and be safe. if you don't have to be out there, you can be inside. We have electronics now for you to monitor the counting. When I was in Ghana, people would be there and open their eyes. I remember somebody had to use sticks to hold his eyes up to make sure nothing goes past him. But it's not necessary because sometimes people get aggressive in line, and I've stayed in line for more than 8 hours just to vote before. So if you're done, just go back home. If you don't have to be out there, don't be out there. If you see something coming, just go back. All I wish for Ghana is for a safe election because it's our home country. We want to come back home and, you know, um, stay in peace. So a party shouldn't be a reason why there should be any violence. And I have friends from Liberia who have narrated their stories. It's not worth it. So I'm just praying for peace for Ghana and everything to go smoothly. Whoever wins, if it's the incumbent party, like the ruling party who wins, at least I know who to blame. I can come for both Ebenezers. I know that you guys are the ones who are leading the party now. So, well, I just remember when I won the visa lottery before leaving Ghana, and I had voted before leaving. So when the person I voted for won, and I had left, and they started, feeling the struggle. People were calling me and telling me, you voted and you left. We are the ones struggling. So don't worry. Vote for whoever you're passionate about, and the policies are very important. And thank you all for coming. I hope to see everybody next week.
All right. Thank you very much, Gloria. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Ebenezer Nyaku. Thank you, Divine. Thank you, Mumuni. Thank you, Ebenezer Corte. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Bernice. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you all for joining me for this program. And we are proudly, this program is brought to you by the Kluche Foundation. You can go to their website on thekluchefoundation.com and also read about what they do and what they stand for. Okay, so you can find us on our social media handles, that is Facebook, Twitter, now X. You can find us on Instagram and other social media platforms, also on YouTube, the Kluche Foundation. So remember to join us on the 13th of December, where we will come with another captivating and wonderful topic, where my panelists are always ready. We're going to have a wonderful time. We are going to talk about the post-election, how some people will be laughing, how Ebenezer may be laughing or crying, how Fatima may be laughing or crying, how Mumuni may be laughing or crying. So whoever will be laughing or whoever will be crying, we hope to have a peaceful election. So Ghana is deciding tomorrow on the 7th of December, 2024. So is it going to be the former president of the National Democratic Congress or the vice president of the New Patriotic Party? Whoever wins, Ghana wins, and we all be at peace. So I'm your host. I come your way next week on the 13th of December. Ciao.